The criterion today for most parents is that their child should get as much as somebody else. Will I stand up to the expectation of my parents? Parents become. Or I want parents to allow children to live their lives. Child is at its best only when the child does what the child loves. It is not dependent on the subject. It is how best a child can do in one's life. Allow our children to excel in whatever they are capable of. Today's children are under tremendous pressure. This was not so when we were all young. The criterion today for most parents is that their child should get as much as somebody else or the neighbor or anybody else. The best marks or good-looking mascots looks like the criterion. Children have therefore tremendous pressure of performing the way it is, like get good scores. Whether they enjoy learning, whether they like the subject or not, they should get marks. Unfortunately, one other thing has happened. The children are under comparison. The comparison is, will I stand up to the expectation of my parents? Parents become a standard for comparing their performance. Am I as good as my friend? What happens to my future if I don't get good marks? What happens if I don't score well? What happens if I don't earn as much as somebody else? Everything is centering on marks and money. Education looks like for livelihood and not life. Even those things are vanishing slowly. People may not look at marks and marks cards when they employ, or people may not even look at whether somebody has gone to a school or college or not. If somebody is competent, he or she will get a job. That's the scenario. But unfortunately, one other parameter is that the affluence or affordability of parents has also driven children into a lot of pressure. I wanted to learn music, but I could not. So I want my child to learn music. I wanted to play sports, I could not. I want my child to play sports. I wanted to learn swimming, my father didn't allow. I want my child to be one best swimmer. So this kind of things have also driven a lot of anxiety and stress on the children. Therefore, children can't live their own life. If you look at this roughly 600 odd crore population on this planet, each child is born different. No two children are exactly identical. The genetic map reveals this. But the model of school system that we are living with has tried to make all children function the same way. In other words, a sort of one-size-fits-all kind of scenario. This is not a real thing. It's against nature. Each child sees the world differently. The way the child looks at things is different. Observation capabilities and ways are different. Understanding is different. Analytical capabilities are different. And the objectives of life and the way one wants to live is different. But we want to drive all of them in the same path. Therefore, instead of trying to make my child live my life, I should enable the child to live its own life. Unless I enable each child to live its own life, in fact, I am cruel and I am actually making the child not evolve into its best. If we have to respect each child for being its own rightful approach to life, I will be actually not only unproductive but unfair. Therefore, I want parents to allow children to live their lives. And one other thing that concerns most children and parents is, what should I do? Is computer science better? Is electronics better? Is art better? This kind of question. If the child does what one loves to do, the child can perform extremely well. The child is at its best only when the child does what the child loves. And then the child can excel. For good competence, there is always an opportunity. It is not dependent on the subject. It is how best a child can do in one's life. And therefore, my appeal to parents would be allow or help children to live their lives than live the parents' life. I think this is something extremely important. With the fast changing AI and other things happening, the best capable will do well in life, and those who can do very ordinary things will have to struggle. And therefore, if we want to truly help our children, allow our children to excel in whatever they are capable of. That's possible only if they do what they are good at.